Hello, I'm Lauren and welcome to Dream Life Designer. In this video, I'll be talking about how to set long and short-term goals to help you make your dream life a reality. I come out with new videos every week that cover topics related to achieving your dreams and goals in life, so please subscribe below to be the first to know about them. To get started creating your long and short-term goals, you have to have a clear idea of what your dream life looks like. So if you don't yet have that really clear, defined, written down, go back and take a look at a couple of my earlier videos, the first step to living your dream life and the 6 areas to focus on when creating your dream life. I'll put links down below in the description so you can easily find those videos if you still need to do that step. So those videos can help you really get clear on what your dream life looks like, really define it in detail, and then once you have that, then you're ready to set your long and short-term goals to help you get there. Basically, setting long and short-term goals starts with the end in mind. So you start with that dream life that you have in mind, that you've envisioned, you've gotten really clear on, and then you start with your long-term goals. You want to start with your 10-year goals. Where is it you want to be in 10 years? To be living your dream life, what do you have to have achieved in 10 years? You want to think about all the different areas you've focused on. So I talked in previous videos about the 6 areas of focus when you're defining your dreams. So you want to set 10-year goals in each of those areas for all of those dreams that you have. 10 years is a long time, so you could probably achieve most, if not all of your dreams that you currently have within 10 years. You have so much time on your side that it's very doable to achieve most of them. After you have your 10-year goals written, then you want to think, what do you have to do in 5 years to reach those 10-year goals? So you're going to set 5-year goals based on those 10-year goals. What steps do you need to take? What do you need to get to by 5 years to get to those 10-year goals in 10 years? And maybe there's some goals that are smaller goals that you didn't write in the 10-year section because they're pretty quick and easy, or easier than a 10-year time frame, so you can put those in the 5-year goal section. Or maybe there's some you wrote in 10 years and then you realize, oh, actually I could achieve that in 5 years, so I'll put that same goal in the 5-year section because I think that's totally doable. Once you have your 5-year goals written, you use those 5-year goals to write 3-year goals. Same thing, just like you did with using 10 years to write 5 years. What do you need to accomplish in 3 years to be able to accomplish your 5-year goals in 5 years? You can move some of your 5-year goals back if you're like, oh, I could get that done in 3 years. You could set it as a 3-year goal too. Or maybe you have some stepping stone goals that'll help you get to your 5-year goals. Once you have your 3-year goals, the final step is to use those 3-year goals to help you write 1-year goals. So what do you have to have accomplished in 1 year to help you get to your 3-year goals by 3 years' time? You can also write down really quick and easy goals for some of your dreams that you realize these are super achievable and I can do them right away. You can add those in as some of your 1-year goals. Let's look at an example of what this could look like. Let's say your current reality is you are in an entry-level position that is draining your soul and you're barely eking by. But you've written out your dreams, you've defined what you want out of life. So you're going to start, let's say, the work area. Just looking at the work focus, that in 10 years' time, your goal is to fully support yourself as a freelance graphic designer. So that could be your 10-year goal, fully supporting yourself as a freelance graphic designer. And you could include, like, what does that look like? How much income does that need to be? 5-year goal, based off of that 10-year goal, maybe is to be earning at least half of your expenses from your freelance graphic design. So you're working a job for someone else, you're also doing freelance graphic design and covering half of your expenses through your freelance graphic design work. That's a good stepping stone to get you to full-time freelance graphic design. Then we move to 3-year goal. Maybe your 3-year goal is to earn a quarter of your expenses from freelance graphic design. Then you move to your 1-year goal. By the end of 1 year, from that point on, so say you're writing your goals in January, by the next January, and from then on, you will have at least 1 freelance graphic design job you are working on each month. And that might be your 1-year goal, to have that consistent freelance graphic design work coming in. So that might be working backwards, kind of what the work career goals would look like. So you are trying to be realistic with your goal setting, but you can be a bit ambitious. So these are just some examples of how that goal setting can work. But the big idea is start with the long range goal, work your way backwards from 10 to 5 to 3 to 1-year goals, and what's going to help you get to that next step along the way. And make sure to write these goals down. So if you've started a journal or a document where you've written down your dreams to define your dreams, you can use that journal or document to write your goals down in it and hang on to those goals. It's important to hang on to them, to reflect on them. They can help really motivate you, can help remind you why you're doing this, what those dreams are, what those goals are, and it can also be really encouraging because you can see what goals you have already achieved. So when I've achieved goals that I've written down, I love to go back and highlight those goals. Then that way when I'm looking through my goals, I can really quickly see, wow, look at all that I have accomplished already. So if I'm ever feeling like a little discouraged or like, oh, I have so far to go to get to where I want to be, I can say, wow, but look at how far I've come. So it's really encouraging. I encourage you to do that, to highlight goals that you have achieved, that you've accomplished. Once you've done your initial goal setting, you don't need to do big long-term goal setting very often. But your one-year goal, at the end of each year, you should be coming back and coming up with new one-year goals based on your longer-term goals that you've set. Now, it's also possible when you come back at that year, there might be some goals you didn't achieve. That's totally fine. Maybe it's just taking you a little bit longer to get there. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just keep sticking with it. Some goals start off slow and they gain more momentum later on. Some goals, they just take a little longer than you thought it would take to reach them. But if you stick with it, if you're consistent, you will achieve those goals. I have a lot of goals. If I look back at goals I've written, 3-year goals or 5-year goals, that at that 3-year point and 5-year point, I didn't quite have achieved. But if I looked at them a year later or maybe 2 years later, I had achieved them. Sometimes your timing's just a little bit off. There's also the possibility that you could look at your goals and say, I don't really care about this goal anymore. Maybe you really wanted to learn how to play the fiddle. You just thought it sounded really cool, but then later on you're like, I don't really care about that. That's really not important to me anymore. That's totally fine. Goal setting is all about serving you. It's a tool to help guide you to achieve your dreams. So dreams change. If you have something that you think you would love to do, but then later you decide, no, I don't care about that anymore, you can cross that off. The point is, people change, dreams change, therefore your goals can change. If you have some new goals that are really important to you, you can add those in. Feel free to change your short and long-term goals as you see fit. It should be a fluid, living document that's there to serve you, so make it work for you. Writing down your long and short-term goals is a huge step in making your dreams a reality. The next step to achieving your goals is breaking them down into actionable steps, which I will be getting into in future videos. In the meantime, leave a comment below sharing one of your goals. It could be a short-term goal or a long-term goal. I love to hear from you. I love to get to know you better. And what you share can help me create videos that are helpful to you in achieving your goals. So please leave a comment below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, share it with your friends. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that I come out with every week. See you next time.